Greetings, glitter goddesses. Happy Thursday. How are you? I am broadcasting on Thursday, November 21st, and I look like a cat, so that's fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the gratitude album tonight. I'm going to show you the page module of the gratitude album so you can see how it's made. And then I've designed it so that you can have as many modules as you need. So they will chain together. So they'll be like a chain, sort of like the infinity binding, how the infinity binding works. So yeah, so that you can have as many as you want. So if you have 22 people coming for Thanksgiving, then you can make 22 pages. If you have, 3 people coming, you can make 3 pages, however many you need. If you're going to bite me, you're going on the floor. Meow. Meow. That's right. She's here to inspect my work from earlier. All right, so I have 9. So that's how many I need, but I don't know if we're going to get there. So let me show you let me tell you what I have planned. So my plan is to do 6.5 inch pages. So you can put a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch mat on the page. And then each page will also have a little pocket to hold this. And then maybe a closure. We'll see how fancy I feel like getting. So the first thing is that we need to get our cardstock. Yeah. What's your problem? So I am going to do 9. So I need, for 9, I need 3 sheets of cardstock. Okay. So we're going to do the 5x7 pinwheel, and then I'm going to cut these down to 6.5 by 4.5. And those are going to be our pages. So to do the 5x7 pinwheel, you put your paper at 5 inches, and then you cut up from the bottom to 5 inches, turn it, put it back at 5 inches, cut up to 5 inches, 5x7 mat comes off, turn it once, put it back at 5 inches, cut up to 5 inches, 5x7 mat comes off, turn it, put it back at 5 inches, cut all the way up, and 2 5x7 mats. We're going to do it again. All right, so I'm going to talk about the schedule just a little bit here while I'm cutting all these pieces. So the next deadline that we have coming up is 11:55 p.m. on Sunday, the 24th, which is this coming Sunday, and that's Eastern USA time. We will be ending the glitter party in the sense that no entries will be accepted after that time to win the prize. Of course, you can still post things with the hashtag so everyone can admire your work, but those to be eligible to win the Rotatrim or $200 gift card, you need to have it posted by then. Instructions on how to post it are in the video, just how to enter are in the video description of this video and pinned to the top of the Facebook group. All right. So I'm cutting these 5x7 pieces down to 6.5 by 4.5. Now, if you wanted to put your photos straight on and not have photo mats, you could make yours 4.25 by 6.25. That's up to you. That's personal preference. I'm going to put the mat because that way it'll look finished. But also because it'll clean up all the seams from where all the joints and things are between the different page elements. Now, all right, so that's 8. So that's a good start. Now I need a 9th one, technically. I may not get that far, so I'm going to worry about that. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. Did you almost get squished? My bad. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 11 6.5 inch by 1 inch strips. So 11 6.5 inch by 1 inch strips. You need 10. You need 10. You need the photo mats are 4.5 by 6.5. The pages are 4.5 by 6.5. The photo mats are 4.25 by 6.25. 4 by 6 photos. So the photos will have a border around them. This is 6.5 inches tall, so same height as the page, and we're going to cut 1 inch strips off of it. And we need 10. We need one more than one more than we have pages. So I have 9 pages, so I need 10. There isn't a tutorial, but the name of it is, currently it's in the YouTube archives as Gratitude Album, I believe. So this is 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, easy, easy, easy. Okay, so those are our 10 strips. So remember, the number of strips that you cut will depend very much on how big, not how big, how many pages your book has. Mine has 9. Yours has 1 per guest. So and then we're gonna score all of these down the middle at 1/2 inch. Now I promise you that this project is easy. So the fact that there's no tutorial for this, do not worry. You can do it super simply from the videos. I mean, the only measurement so far has been for this, which was 4x4, fold it in half. 4.5 by 6.5. 1 inch by 6.5, scored down the middle at 1/2 inch. That's it. That's all it's been so far. It's very simple to get together. I'm not trying to make this complicated. This is done with the Cayenne base, and it is going to replace the second Dorian pocket, meaning I'm not going to do another Dorian pocket. However, this is based on the Dorian pocket's design, and this has Dorian pocket vibes. The only difference between this and the Dorian pocket is Dorian pocket has fixed number of pages, okay, And this one does not. This one, you can adjust the pages based on how many you need. All right. We are going to fold along all the score lines and burnish. Now, you will have 2 sides per page, which means you'll have, you know, two more, like if you do 9 pages and you have 9 people, you'll have 18 sides to your pages. So you'll be able to include other images from Thanksgiving. Okay. So these are 1 by 6.5. This video is going to be on YouTube, so don't worry if you miss a measurement. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to hook one of these onto each page. Okay. I'm just going to hook it just like that. All right. So and then we'll have one left at the end. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a chain here, not too much. I'll do them in sets of 3. And so again, this is a very quick project for assembly line. Works really well. I need to cut one more piece. I'm going to cut from the scrap I have left from the thing. And then we're going to cut these apart. So, and stick them to their pieces. Then we're going to stick them to each other. Right, so we are making a Thanksgiving place card. It's a double project. It's Thanksgiving place cards, which we made this afternoon, and a Thanksgiving gratitude album. So here's the idea. So the place card, so this is just goes on the table, you know, like a normal place card, decorated front and back. However, on the inside, there's a place for the person to write what they're grateful for. We are going to adapt the Dorian pocket to hold these place cards, okay, on the pages, so that then the place cards become part of a gratitude album that your entire family journaled in. Okay, so, and then if you're like, my family won't do it, you withhold pie. That's how you get them to do it. So after dinner, when everyone's like, should we have pie, you say, okay, but first I'm going to collect all the gratitude album things and then we'll have pie, and then they'll do it, unless they hate pie, in which case they probably won't do it at that point. And then I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to just threaten them with knives or something. No, don't threaten your family members with knives. You'll end up on some kind of cautionary tale Facebook video. All right, so we are going to line this up with the score line on the pieces. It's the same deal as usual. You want to see a line of paper in between this and the score line, okay? You want to see a line of paper in between the edge of this and the score line. Just a hair's worth. It's not a huge gap, but you don't want to put this right up on top of the score line. Yeah, so people are like, since we have dessert first, it'll work great. Yeah, then they won't get to eat anything at all until they've written what they're grateful for. Then they won't get to eat anything at all. Well, and it'll be like, YouTuber encourages audience to stab family members at Thanksgiving, you know, and then it'll be like a clip of me saying, threaten your family with knives with no context. And then you guys, like pictures of you guys taken by your 11-year-old, you know, kids, grandkids, neighbors getting into knife fights. Almost done, friends. Almost done. So, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to be on TV. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to stick them to each other, and this is how we're going to stick them to each other. Okay? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. This first one, this is the front cover. All right? So what we're going to do now is on all of them, on the back, so on the side where you can see where you attached that first piece, we're going to put another line of tape. They wouldn't fill out their gratitude cards. I had to stab them like I was told. They bet you they're grateful now. Had to give them something to be grateful for. So this book is just a lot of doing the same thing multiple times. Oh, and who is your teacher? Oh, her website is... Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, so... And last one. Okay, now, when you go to stick them down, all right, this time, this isn't going to hook around, all right? It's going to go on the back. So each of them will have, so that when you look at a page, all right, so I want you to, when you look at the page, you'll only see one attachment. Well, we want both the attachments to be on the same side. So one page is clean and one page is messed up. Is not messed up, but one page has the joints on it, basically. All right, so that's how we're doing it. Stick them together. All right, easy, easy peasy. Day. First one, okay? So just keep going like that. This is not hard. It's going to come together quickly. The reason I keep turning it is because it's a lot easier for me to line it up on the side that doesn't have tape, and then I can just press down the side that does have tape. So once I get it lined up. All right, now, oh look, we have a mantelpiece decoration now. Ta-da. All right, last piece goes on this last piece of tape. That was some pretty easy construction. That was some pretty easy construction. All right, so now the book needs a cover and a closure. However, the closure, all right, the closure should go, I mean, the cover is fine. The cover is just another 4.5 by 6.5 piece of cardstock, and it's stuck to this. The closure is a little bit, oh, actually, my bad. Hold on. There's one little tiny change. The back piece needs to hook around. So this last one has to hook around because this one's for the closure. It needs to be facing the front when it's done. No big deal. No big deal. All right, so we're going to let this dry. We're going to let this dry. Let me tell you how we're going to do the pockets. So the pockets are going to hold these. We're going to make a little pocket right here on each one that's going to hold each person's gratitude thing. I might put it like this, all the way across the bottom. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's put it like this all the way across the bottom. And then let's put a window in it so we can see everyone's names. All right? Let's put a window in it so we can see everyone's names. So, to make this pocket, okay, we need a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 inches wide. So 5.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. 5.5 by 2.5. All right, and we need 9 of those. All right. There's 2. Let me make some more as soon as I figure out what I did with my cardstock. I left it in its bag like a smarty pants. All right. 5.5 by 2.5. One per person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 3 more. Now, there's 3 more. Ow. And while I'm at it, let me get my 4.5 inch by 6.5 inch piece for my front cover. That's this. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. Let's just get the front cover on it. Once again, I'm going to put tape on the edge of the cardstock, and we're going to stick it down on top of the stack. Okay, so super simple, super simple. So you can see where this takes inspiration from the Dorian pocket, because it has that accordion aspect to it. Okay. All right. So front cover. Once this dries, we'll do the back cover. We're still waiting on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and score these. And then we're going to make them into frames so that we can see everyone's name. So on the 5.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 5 inches. And then turn it, and on the 2.5 inch side, score at 2. or 1/2 inch all the way around. Well, not all the way around. We're going to skip the top. So travel bolt, and then we're gonna do something crazy. It's not that crazy. I think we'll be fine. So once again, this is a modular album. You make as many of any of these individual pieces as you have family members or dinner guests, okay? So, you know, I'm doing 9 of everything. If you don't have 9 people coming, you don't need to do 9 of everything. Okay. Let's get the frame punch board. And I'm gonna do this as a frame. So I'm gonna put the top one at 1/2 inch and the side one at 1 inch. And I'm gonna punch all of them. Okay, see what we're doing here? We're gonna make a frame so that their name will show through. So I'm going to punch all of them on the top first, and then I'm going to adjust it to a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch and punch all of them at the bottom. So here we're going to use the frame punch to make quick work of this project. Half an inch and 1 inch. 1/2 inch and 1 inch on the punch board. And then that's for the top. That one wasn't scored right, but it looked like I punched it wrong because it wasn't scored right. All right, so 1/2 inch at the top and 1 inch on the side. And then I'm putting the unscored side in the at the top. All right. All right, and then all right, so once we've punched all of them, then we move the one that's at 1/2 inch to 1 inch and punch the other side. And that's going to make us a window for our names to show through. which is going to make this album look extra cool. But it's not really that much more work for us because of the punch board. If you don't have the punch board, you can skip this step. Of course you can. You can skip this step if you have the punch board. Hi, how's your vacation? And there we go. Done. All right, now we're gonna get the Fiskars trimmer out again, and slicey. Well, let's see how the punch, maybe I'll give the punch board another shot. Let's see how it does. Okay, it's doing okay. I think it'll just be a little bit faster. I usually use the Fiskars because I think the Fiskars is more accurate. But tonight, I'd rather have speed than accuracy. Yeah, I don't think it's that great at this part. It's great at the frame part, but I don't think it's that great at this part. But just because I have so many of them to do. All right, so now that I've done all the 1-inch ones, I'm going to move this and do all the 1/2-inch ones. So, do you not like the frame punch at all? Or, oh man, I lost the thing. What the, of course. Like, let's not have anything go smoothly. Oh, where is my knob? I found it, everyone. All right, so what we've done is we've created a frame. All right. I accommodated where it's going to be folded, so yeah, I don't like the cutter either. The cutter part of it, I think, could be better. I only have the large one, May. May's asking if you get the EK Success film strip, do you get the both of them or just the big one? I only have the big one. I didn't know there was a small one. I will say that this is the best the cutter has ever done. So it's like it was just daring me. Yep, we're going to use acetate for the windows. Yep, absolutely. That's what's coming next. All right, so don't they look cute? They also look like plates, like name plates. You know, like you would put a name tag behind it, or like put it on like a card catalog. They would have like which letters. Okay, so I'm going to use 1/4-inch tape, and you know what? I think I'll tape the acetate instead, because if I tape the acetate, then I can go a little faster, I think. Ugh, my punch board drawer is out of control. All right, I'm gonna move some of them. All right, you guys live in there for now. All right, let's get the acetate. And let's see. This window is 4.5 by 2. Yeah, 4.5 by 2. So I'm going to cut the acetate down the middle at 4 1/4. And that way I'll be able to get a lot of pieces out of it, out of one sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this tape down the acetate before I cut it, down the 2 sides. And that way okay. Part of the taping will be done. And I'm going to cut these into 2 1/4-inch pieces, so I don't have to worry about them poking the top, bottom, sides, whatever. So they're 1/4 inch smaller on both sides, that way they'll nest nicely. How big are you? Yeah, close enough to 2 1/4. Oh, 2 1/4. No, I should be 1 3/4 is what I meant. Because the pocket's 2, so it's 1 3/4. I'm not having 9 people for Thanksgiving. I'm having 9 people for Christmas. So mine are going to not be used till Christmas because Thanksgiving we don't do very big in my family for a couple reasons. One is Mr. Lifeguard and I are always busy getting ready for Black Friday. And the other is my dad refuses to travel for Thanksgiving. So we can't go up there because of Black Friday and they won't come down here. So Thanksgiving is always small. So that's okay. All right. So 1 3/4. And this has got to be enough, right? I guess I should have been counting. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. All right, so then we're going to put this down on top of it just like that. Okay. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. So these ones are extras. I'm going to put them on my other desk so I don't get confused. All right, so Sunday night is the deadline for Glitter Party 2019 entries. Monday, I'll open the sign-ups for the Black Friday prizes. That will be on my Facebook page, which is my public page, facebook.com/Kathryn Scraps. That'll be on Monday that I do that. And they'll run through midnight, well, 11:55 p.m. Eastern USA time on Thursday night. So you'll have through Thursday. Then Friday at 2 p.m. No classes on Thursday because of Thanksgiving. Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is the same time as the normal Thursday afternoon show, we'll do the Black Friday project. We'll have giveaways. We'll announce the winner of the trimmer from Glitter Party 2019. What else will we do? We will make that Simple Stories box. We will have a sale. We're going to do a sale on digital stuff. So we're going to put tutorials, basics guides, workshops, all that kind of stuff will be on sale. At least through Cyber Monday, at least. So it'll be Friday, the weekend, and Monday. At least I'll turn it off sometime after that. I haven't decided exactly when, but it won't run too long. So I would get your stuff over the weekend. Schedule will be back to normal the following Thursday with split decision again. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And then at some point, I'm going to have to take a break for Christmas. We'll probably do at least 2 shows in December. or at least 2 weeks, and then I don't know. I have to look at the schedule of when my family's arriving and when they're leaving and stuff like that. Then January will be normal. And then Scrabble first Sunday in February. And we'll do the crayon box. So, a lot going on. All right. So, I am going to now peel all the acetates. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't leave my house on Black Friday. It's too scary. I'm too scared. If you don't have acetate, you can leave it empty. You don't have to back it with anything. That just makes it a little bit stronger. But you don't have to do anything, or you could use vellum, or you can use a plastic bag. Yeah, acetapes. You got to peel your acetapes. But yeah, you can even use a plastic bag. Don't use like a blue, use a thicker one, like from product packaging. Just to give it some weight. I have a friend who loves and loves and loves to do Black Friday shopping, and I'm just like, no. There's nothing I need. There's nothing I need that badly. No, thank you. I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to stand in line for 2 hours to like fight someone for a Cricut at the Walmart. That is not a thing that is going to happen. Yes, you can use page protectors. That's what I mean with like a thicker plastic. Page protectors or plastic bags from packaging. Yeah. If you have transparency for some reason, or you can borrow some from the office if your office still uses transparency. No, don't borrow from your office. That's great. I've been giving so many, like, I told you guys to stab your family members. Now I'm telling you to steal from the office. I would go to a friend's house to craft on Black Friday. That is something I would do with my Black Friday. So I would leave the house for that. But I would not then, if she wanted to pop over to Joann's, I'd be like, no, you are on your own, ma'am. You are on your own. All right, so it's a good thing I didn't get rid of the extra acetates that I cut because I need one. All right, so these either that or I have one too many of these, which is also a possibility. Okay, so that's done. Now we're just going to tape these and chomp their corners. So exactly, that's true. There's no such thing as popping on Black Friday. All right, so I'm gonna chain these, and I'm gonna chain them so that the side that gets folded under, so that they're back to back. That way I can put tape on those. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna run my 3/8 inch tape on this last one here. That was the extra one because there's 9. And then I'm gonna take my 3/4 inch tape that I almost never use. I don't even buy it anymore. And I'm gonna run that down the flaps that will form the bottom so that they'll have tape. And then I can tape 2 at once. All right, so these are all taped now. So I'm just gonna pull them apart. All right, and they've all got tape on 3 sides. Okay, done. Perfect. Now, we're gonna take the Fiskars trimmer and we're gonna miter the corners. And the way I do this is I just put the wire on the X that is made by the score lines and I cut through it. And then it allows me to tuck that around, and that's my pocket. Look at that. Huh? How cute. How cute. So we'll put them in our book. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. And then again, this is just a lot of all right, so let me explain how we're going to cover these with pattern paper. Because I think it's going to involve math. All right. So I think that the way that we need to make a frame for this is, I think, let me get a scrap paper that is 2 by 4.5. Because I have an idea and I want to make sure I'm correct. So here's a piece of scrap paper that's 2 by 4.5. Now, I think if I put these both at 3/4 of an inch, that will make my hole the right size. No, I don't know. I don't know that that's going to be right. We'll see. Maybe. Maybe. The problem is the punches extend too far, I think. But we'll find out. No, I need to make them 1/4 of an inch. A quarter of an inch. I had to go the other direction, right? No, 1/4 of an inch isn't going to be right. Maybe it's just a 1/2 inch. Let me try a 1/2 inch. I think what I need to do is make it bigger. Is make my piece bigger and then cut it down. Yes, that's what I need to do. So instead of making my piece 2 and here's what we're going to do. I want my frame to be 3/8 of an inch. This doesn't make 3/8 of an inch. It makes 1/4, 1/2. It goes up by quarters. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to force it to give me a 3/8 of an inch frame, okay? And I think we can. I think we can make it do what we want. I think it's going to take some finagling with the paper size. So let me get another scrap of paper. So I think I need to make it 1/4 inch bigger. So I need to make it 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. And then do a 1/2 inch frame. And then, after I've done that, I need to cut 1/8 of an inch off each edge. And I think that's going to give me my perfect 3/8 inch frame that I'm craving. Oh, no. No, that's not going to work. I'm just going to have to make a 1/4 inch frame. That's fine. All right, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'm not gonna mess around with it all night. I'll just make a 1/4 inch frame. All right. We'll worry about that later if we get to the decorating phase. But for you, to make a 1/4 inch frame, you just cut your piece to be 4 1/4 by 1 3/4 and then do a 1/4 inch frame. And that's how you get paper running around the outside, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do now is stick this in the book. And this closure is ready. Okay, so this is a closure piece. This goes on the back. This is the one that hooks around, okay? This one hooks around. So this one is slightly different. In that we want to space it out a little bit. So I've put my 3/8 inch tape right along the edge so you can see I've got about 1/8 of an inch between it. That's because I want this to be even with the actual edge of the book. And the edge of the book is not perfect because I'm not perfect. So what we're going to do is this side has tape, this side does not. Take the side that's not taped and I'm going to run it down the edge to get it into place. And then once it's in place, then I'll burnish it. And that way I know that wraps around to the outside. All right. And then once this is full and we know how thick it is, that's when we'll attach another piece to this that's like 2 inch, maybe 1.5 inches or something like that, that can act as a closure. All right. Or just leave this off completely and it has no closure, but then it's always flopping around in wherever you're keeping it. So, that's up to you. All right. So front cover, page 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pieces on every other page. All right, because like I said, you have the ability to have other photos from Thanksgiving or whatever holiday or gathering you're using this for. All right, so you don't have to make it just person. Okay. All right, so every other one. I'm going to frame them, but I want to make sure I get everything that's related to construction done, Ella. So that's why I described how you would do it. Yes, you could also make a belly band. That's a good idea Bev has. If you don't want to make a full closure, you could just put a belly band around it. Absolutely. You could put an elastic, make an elastic closure. Make any kind of closure you like, really. Hello. Welcome. All right. Now, one thing you might like to do is put recipes here, especially if the people had dishes they brought, you know, or everyone has a specialty they like or something like that. You could put recipes in here. But yeah, make sure you get one portrait of everyone who comes so that you have a portrait for each person. See how it's getting a lot thicker now that we've put these pockets in it? That's why we didn't want to do the closure right away. Because it is going to get thicker and thicker. So you want to wait till it's totally full. It's got all your memorabilia, all your recipe cards, all your photos, all your matting, all of it done, embellishing everything. And then make your closure last. Okay. And then we'll put one here. So we'll have 5 on one side and 4 on the other. And again, this is where these go. So everyone's place card has a home. And then we can put like a 4x6 card behind it to make it look pretty. Okay, so we're going to flip it around. I'm going to skip the first one. And I'm going to go straight to the second one. Now, if you want to give a little extra breathing room on top, you could make these 2 1/4 instead of 2. I am going to have my place cards stick out the top a little bit so that I can grab them more easily so that they're not all the way down inside the pocket. That way I don't have to figure out how to pull them out. And again, just every other one. Put a pocket. This is the most fanciest, I would say, of all the albums I've ever done to hold these Thanksgiving place cards. With the pockets and the frames and the acetate and all that. But yeah, like we were talking about earlier, this would be great for a birthday party. You could take a picture of everyone who came to the birthday party. Have them write something nice about the person whose birthday it is. Or even if they're really little, just sign their name. Or draw a picture. Okay. This last one's going to go here. Oops, I need to score it first. Remember, the album does not need to be done before the event, okay? The album does not need to be done before the event, so do not panic and think, oh, I got to get this whole thing done before Thanksgiving, and I got to travel and pack and grocery shop and finish my glitter party entry. And no, of course not. Of course not. Because look how much thicker it is already because of these little babies. Because you can do this part after the holiday. The only thing that has to be done before the holiday is this. Okay? So make sure you have these done. This is what you concentrate on. Get these done. Once you have these, and then on the day taking care of getting pictures from everyone. So just get the only prep you have to do is the place cards. And then the only thing you have to do on the day is getting everyone's portraits. That's it. And then the rest of it can all be done whenever you have time. Whenever. Okay? So don't stress thinking, I mean, she's making this awfully fancy if I got to get it done before Thursday and cook a whole meal. You know, no. You can do it whenever. Okay, so see how this is already not going to cover. So that's why we wait until the end and we know exactly how thick it is. All right? Okay, so as far as construction, this is it except for the closure. So I'm going to just explain the closure in case we don't have time to get to it. All right. So the closure will be 1.5 inches plus whatever the width of your book is. So right now my book's like an inch. So 1.5 plus an inch. And then you just stick it right here. Stick it to this little flap. Exactly, Ella. That's what the pockets are for. 100%. So that's, the place cards eventually will live in them. So that's what they're for. And you can do them either way. You can have their little images showing instead if you want to. All right. Okay. So now we've got that. We've got all that. All right. So let me talk about where I would put photos. So I would put photo mats, boom, boom, boom. I would put a photo mat by each pocket. And we need 9 photo mats for 9 people. At least, right? Because we want a portrait of everyone who comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. And I want to line the pockets, will line with pattern paper. Just cute pattern paper from the collection. We can even put 3x4 cards above the pockets, or 4x4 cards or whatever, for some additional just, you know, cuteness, decor, whatever. So we might be able to get some decorating done. What time is it? 10:22? We might be able to get some decorating done. These are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. All right, So there's all our photo mats. Let's get this cleaned up. All right. So this is the front of the front cover. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, room for 5 people on the back. So just gonna use the ATG just to be quick. Because if you have an intention of displaying this in your house for people to go through every holiday, probably you will want to use tape. And then this will just sit, no pattern paper needed, perfectly mats right there. All right, next one. And so this is where you put your portraits that you take on Thanksgiving. So find a nice little backdrop you can put everyone in front of and get their pictures as well. You know, if you've got a tree that's got some nice, that's still got some leaves, or if you've got a nice mantle, or, you know, and of course, again, if you don't really make a big deal out of Thanksgiving, if you don't celebrate it at all, if you already celebrated it, Christmas is coming up, this works for birthdays, anniversaries, retirements. You can do this for any gathering. Wedding showers, baby showers. Lots of different ways that this could be implemented. All right, so when you put this on your display, you're gonna have all these photos, see? So that's how it's gonna look. So now we're gonna go to the back. Same thing. Getting everyone's pictures is probably gonna lead to more bloodshed than the gratitude cards. Absolutely, Gretchen. Bev says, just stab them, Gretchen. Like, you've been stabbed. I will call 911 after you smile for my photo. If you want a bandage, okay, then smile for the photo. Yeah, portraits, exactly. Everyone sit for your portrait before we sit down to write in our gratitude cards. Before then we get dessert. So that's the order. You know, you don't get food without a picture. No dinner without a picture. No dessert without a gratitude. You've got to hold all the good parts of the gathering hostage. I have faith that you will all get it done. I have faith. All right, this one's just extra. So what's great to go there is a nice 4x6 card. Oh, nope, no. You go here. This took 4 pieces of cardstock so far. So it's, well, plus these. So I would say 6 pieces of cardstock and you can get it done with 6. Would be my guess, because we did 1 piece of cardstock for these. I think I've used 4 pieces of cardstock so far for these. So I think I'm up to 5. So we still have to do the closure. So I would say 6 and you're probably safe. Okay, so this is the front cover, right? This one. So we don't do anything here, but here we have an empty space. So this is a good place to use a 4x6 card. All right, so and we'll just mat it. I put the photo stamp to indicate that that's where a photo will go. Just so you know that that's where to put a photo. So that's just to say to leave that space empty for a photo. All right, so we've got this one is pretty cute with the pumpkins. That tree's pretty nice. This one, these two, there's not a lot going on unless you want to journal, which it's fine if you wanted to journal. This would be very cute for journaling. These two are kind of listy, like making a list. So really the one that I think, the other thing is I could use one of the 4x4 ones, like this. But see, this is Hello Fall. This So Very Blessed one might be the way to go. Or this Love. What do you think? Do you like the Love? Or the pumpkins? The family one? But it has to be vertical. Oh, this family one. Yeah. This one's a little too small. I don't want to do 4x3. I definitely want something that's at least 4x4, like the Love. I like the pumpkin too. I almost want to put something to cut out the white that's around the pumpkin and put something else back there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of my bigger cards to see if there's something I can steal that I can use. So I'm going to look at like the 6x8 cards. And then if I don't find anything I want in the big stuff, what I think I'll do is I think I'll use a 3x4 instead of a 4x3 and just double mat it. Because there are some cute ones on the 3x4. See, if I had the digital collection, I could make these 3x4 bigger, but I don't. I just have the normal collection this time. Darn it! Alright, that's what we're gonna do. So, okay. We've got some things that we can do here. We've got F is for family. Home is where the heart is would work also. Home sweet home. Home. These are all the same. So the other thing we could do is, you see this? I'm nuts about you. We could combine it with this squirrel on something that was the right size. So like this. Or like this. This one. All right, I've got an idea. An idea is sort of happening in my puny little brain. All right, I'm gonna punch out I'm nuts about you. All right, so okay, we can't use that there. That's fine. That's fine. Let's get this guy. So what I want is this. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put this and this. Okay. I'm going to pull this thankful into this window. And we're going to create a little vignette. Okay. Now I need to make this a little bit smaller. right. I'm going to cut out this window. All right. So now Thankful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully, I'm going to Sharpie the inside of this. All right. Just going to put some glue around the outside of it. Of the outside of the window. Okay. Okay. So that should stay in place. Now, all right, let's see if I can get my little squirrel on here. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out this little squirrel. And I just taped the squirrel before I fussy cut it. That way I don't have to try and figure out how to get tape around a shape that's odd like this. You know, basically just turns it into a sticker. And when I fussy cut, you notice that I move the piece of paper I'm cutting more than my hand. That gives you more control. That gives you more control. All right, so now let's ink the squirrel and the little medallion. And we're inking the squirrel to get rid of, when you cut double-sided paper, you expose the white core of the paper because the ink is just a coating on top. It doesn't go all the way through. So what we're inking to get rid of is that. Oh, you just watched the last Scrappy Bowl with Fran and Alice? Oh dear. The Scrappy Bowl where I got nothing done, but we did make fun of the Rams. I mean, that was the main thing that happened. So... Well, now you know what my room looks like. I think the medallion's too big to go in the squirrel's hands. However, I think this is pretty cute. Now we can move this closer to the squirrel. All right, I think I'm going to put it up in the corner. Yeah, or like it's maybe like it's a poster on his wall or something. I agree, Ellen. I agree. He needs the space. I wonder if Scrappy Bowl broke Shaka. Like she watched it, but then if it... I don't even remember Scrappy Bowl that well from last year, which is... Okay, so this squirrel is going here, and I think he needs a brown mat, a dark brown mat to sit on. All right. There was the cereal drinks. They were so disgusting. They had a weird flavor. And then they apparently stole my memory of the whole thing. Well, and then when we were done with the cereal drinks, we drank Hurricanes, which it's not like Hurricanes are, you know, known for keeping you sober, I guess. I don't know who's going to the Super Bowl this year, but it better be people with good signature drinks. Because last year it was the Patriots, which, I mean, Boston, all I could think of was Sam Adams. And then, I mean, I guess the Patriots aren't technically just from Boston. That's what I kind of think of them as, but I guess they're not 100%. Okay. Okay, so front cover, and then this side, all right, is we've got up all of our photo mat placements. So these you would just line, or I would line with pattern paper. That would be my recommendation. So what I'm going to do now is just show you how to do the closure, just so you know. So let's see, how thick are we? We're an inch at this point still. I'm going to give myself an extra 1/4 of an inch just in case. So I'm going to make my spine 1 1/4 inches. And then so it's 1 1/4 inches on the side, and then it's 1.5 inches on the front. So that's 2 3/4 inches. 2 3/4 inches by 6.5. And then I'm going to score it at 1.5. Oh, I cut it to 3 3/4. That's good. That's good. All right, so I'm going to score it at 1.5, and then I'm going to cut it to the right size, which is 2 3/4. And then fold it over. 9 photos and 9. Okay, well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of these is 6 layers. So that's 12, 18. So there's 18, and they're 1/4 inch thick. So this is 18 layers. All right. So now we're going to put, I'm going to use liquid glue for this because it is the closure. So it's going to take more abuse. And then we'll just line this piece up with this piece. MPix photos are thick, so maybe give yourself an extra 1/2 inch. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, this is 1.5 inches. So just with a pencil, I'm going to draw a line 3/4 of an inch in. So that's half, cut it in half. I'm actually going to use a pen. Just keep it 1/4 of an inch away from the edges. And then I'm going to come in 1.5 inches and make a cross. And that's where I'm going to put my magnets. And the reason I'm marking it and actually measuring it is because that way I can do matching ones on this side. So again, I'm going to come in 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to keep away from the edges by at least 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to come in 1.5 inches and make my mark. And I'm going to come in 1.5 inches and make my mark. All right. So just visually check to make sure they look to be the same height. And then we're going to add magnets. If you don't want to do magnets, you can do something else. You know, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to put a glue dot on each intersection. But with you, when you're doing yours, before you do the closure, just wait. You know, just wait until your book is totally done. Okay, so and then you'll know exactly how thick your book is. So just wait. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tape, you know, over these to hold them down. And then we'll put these. Oh, I've got to put, yeah. Okay, and then once they're in place, I'll put tape down on top of them. All right, now I've got my magnets in place, and this will hold my book kind of closed. But the book has two sides, so it can still sort of fan out on the other side like that. But it will keep it from totally flopping around. It'll keep it from totally, so it can't get too big. Like it can't get too falling apart. All right. So there is the book. You have all the construction pieces, you know, everything you need. And then when you when you want to put it out, you know, you just arrange it on a mantle or as a table centerpiece, or you can just look through it like a normal book. The pages will turn like a normal book. And then you get to the back, and then you're at the back, you're back at the front cover. So that's how it's that's how it's similar to the Dorian pocket. So the way that it's similar to the Dorian pocket is you just go round and round. You just go round and round with it. All right, any questions? Because I know I threw a lot at you with this one, but I wanted you to have everything that you needed to make one. So, you know, again, the book is 4.5 by 6.5. All right. You make one page for each person who's going to be filling out a card. Then once they filled out the cards, they go in these pockets, and then you can decorate behind it, put their photo there. If you wanted to, you could put a photo behind it. You know, so this could also be a photo here if you wanted, and it could just be all photos. You can add in extra pages for more pages than people who were there also, if you want to add in additional photos and whatnot. But, you know, like I said, if you're going to do this and you want to do this, the only thing you have to get done before Thanksgiving, before Thursday, is the place cards. Okay, so you don't have to get the whole thing done before Thursday. You can finish it afterwards. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, because I won't see you before then. You have lots of questions. So this video will remain, you know, I'll put this video up. It's going to be in the archives. I'll also put it on the YouTube channel. All right, so that you can also re-watch on the YouTube channel. If you don't have access to the archives, you can see it both places. But yeah, if you do have specific questions, go ahead and ask now. But you can rewatch, and I gave all the measurements, so everything you need is on the recording. So you've got all the recordings for this. And I will see you next. I will see you at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time on Friday for the Black Friday show. All right. So I'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time on Friday for the Black Friday show. So that's when I'll be back. So not on Thursday, but on Friday. All right. Links below to lots of stuff that I mentioned tonight. So if you have questions about the glitter party, where's the Facebook group, all of that, that's all in the video description. And I will see you next Friday. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, be safe. Please do not stab anyone or threaten to stab anyone. Or if you do threaten to stab people or stab people, don't tell them I told you to. And yeah, enjoy your dinner. I hope all your turkeys are perfectly moist and all your sides are delicious. And I will see you on Friday. A week from tomorrow, I shall return and we will have a little party. So thanks so much for joining me so far this year. It's been a great year. I'm very thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for the Glitter Gang, and I will see you on Friday. Bye now.